Hello, my beautiful and powerful Scorpio souls, and welcome back to the Mystic Astrozen, your sacred space for spiritual insight, divine warnings, and deep soul awakening. Today's message is not an ordinary one. It begins with an unexpected knock at your door, a stranger standing silently, and behind them, the police. Before you let fear creep in, know this. What appears as a disruption in the physical is often a sacred interruption in the spiritual. If you've been feeling a strange tension in the air, sleepless nights, or a tightness in your chest that words can't explain, this is your confirmation. Something in the universe has shifted, and it's now reaching you through an event. That seems random, but is anything but. Scorpio, you are not the type to be easily shaken. But when the unknown appears at your doorstep in the form of authority and mystery, your soul knows it's not coincidence. It's a signal, a wake-up call, a divine redirection. The stranger is not just a person. It's a symbol of all the energy you've avoided, all the truths you've buried, and all the endings you've delayed. The police are not just law enforcement. They represent divine order, spiritual justice, and the karmic consequences of choices unhealed. In this moment, God is not trying to punish you. He's trying to protect you. You didn't expect this message, but your higher self did. You're here because you were meant to hear what comes next. Stay with me, Scorpio. This is just the beginning, and your transformation is already unfolding. When a stranger appears at your door, Scorpio, it's not just a physical event. It's a deeply spiritual one. In mysticism and sacred texts, the stranger is never just a stranger. They are often an embodiment of divine interruption, an unexpected messenger, or the mirror of your own inner shadows. For you, Scorpio, the sign of depth, secrecy, and inner transformation, this visit represents far more than meets the eye. You are someone who sees beneath the surface, who reads energy before words, and who trusts the silent signals the universe sends. So ask yourself, why now? Why this person? Why this way? The arrival of a stranger is often the universe's way of saying, it's time to confront something you've buried. Whether it's fear, guilt, suppressed memories, or decisions you've avoided, the stranger is the reflection of what's been knocking inside your soul. And when that knock becomes external, it means the energy can no longer be contained. You've outgrown the lie. You've outgrown the mask. You've outgrown the silence. The presence of someone unknown standing at your threshold is an initiation. It challenges your boundaries, your instincts, and your readiness to face the truth. The door is sacred in spiritual symbolism. What you allow in determines what you become. If you've recently experienced uninvited people, sudden messages, or even unsettling dreams involving strangers, these are all connected. They are not random. They are warning signs, but also invitations. Invitations to open up, to listen closely, to take spiritual inventory. Scorpio, this stranger is more than a person. It is the embodiment of your next transformation. Not everyone is meant to cross your threshold, but when someone does, led by divine timing, you must ask, what is the lesson my soul is being asked to learn through this? Be still, pay attention. The message is arriving through the unfamiliar, and your soul knows exactly what it means. When the police appear alongside the stranger Scorpio, the message shifts from personal to divine. This is no longer just a visit, it is a spiritual summons. In the realm of mysticism, police don't merely symbolize earthly authority. They represent divine judgment, karmic law, energetic balance, and the enforcement of cosmic justice. You, Scorpio, are ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, rebirth, death, and truth. And when the police show up in your spiritual narrative, it means something hidden is about to be exposed, and something unjust is about to be corrected. This is not a punishment. It is protection. It is not control. It is correction. It is not fear. It is divine order returning to your life. Police carry the energy of consequence, not necessarily because you've done wrong, but because something in your life is out of alignment. It may be a relationship based on illusion, a secret you've held too long, a boundary you've let someone cross again and again. And when God sees you veering too far from your sacred path, He will send a disruption, not to destroy you, but to reroute you. Scorpio, this warning comes with weight because you are at a threshold moment. The presence of police alongside. Stranger tells you that this is no ordinary warning. It is a turning point. Something has reached its spiritual expiration. Maybe you've been asking for justice, clarity, or peace. And this event is the answer, though it comes wrapped in discomfort. Maybe you've been walking with guilt or carrying someone else's karma. And now the universe steps in to release you. When you see police, don't just see men in uniform. See symbols of sacred intervention. See a higher force stepping in where your free will has gone quiet. This moment is charged with divine energy, and you are not powerless in it. You are being called to awaken, to reclaim your truth, and to surrender the lies that no longer serve you. Scorpio, don't fear the arrival of justice. Fear the silence that comes when your soul's cries are ignored. This is divine interference, and it's your rescue, not your ruin. Scorpio, your home is more than walls and furniture. It is a living field of energy, a sacred reflection of your internal world. So when a stranger and the police arrive at your doorstep, this moment is not just about who's outside. It's about what's been building inside. Spiritually, your home mirrors your soul. Every unresolved emotion, unspoken truth, lingering attachment, and energy you allow in, all of it takes residence within the space you live. You, Scorpio, are sensitive to energy more than most, and your home is your sanctuary, your cave, your place of control. But even the strongest sanctuaries can become energetically cluttered when you carry too many memories, secrets, or unresolved shadows. This divine interruption is asking, what energy have you been allowing into your space that no longer belongs? Who or what is spiritually living with you, even if they're not physically present anymore? Maybe it's an old heartbreak that still echoes through your walls. Maybe it's objects that carry the residue of a past version of you. Maybe it's a current relationship that looks calm on the surface, but drains your spirit quietly each day. The universe speaks through symbols, and the most sacred symbol in this story is not the stranger or the police. It's the doorway of your home. That threshold represents a choice. What will you let in, and what will you finally ask to leave? Scorpio, cleanse your space. Burn sage, speak blessings, play healing frequencies, release tears, open windows, anoint your doors. Let your home breathe again. Let it know it is safe to release. Because what is no longer in alignment with your healing will begin to resist, and that resistance will manifest, often in the form of chaos, surprise, or disruption. This moment was sent not to shame you, but to awaken you to the truth. Something has been spiritually squatting in your life, and it's time to reclaim your space. Your home deserves peace, and so do you. This is not just about who knocked on your door. It's about finally listening to what your soul has been whispering from within your own walls all along. Scorpio, the stranger who appeared at your door is not just a physical figure. They are a living symbol of everything you've been avoiding. This moment wasn't about them. It was about what they stirred up in you. Every time we suppress a truth, silence our intuition, or delay making a necessary decision, the energy doesn't disappear. It simply waits. And when it's waited long enough, it arrives in a form we can no longer ignore. For you, Scorpio, this stranger is the embodiment of unfinished business, emotional, spiritual, or karmic. Maybe it's a relationship that's been dragging long past its expiration, a toxic attachment you've justified for too long, a betrayal you've buried without truly healing, or a calling you've been resisting. Whatever it is, it's something your soul has outgrown, and the longer you delay, the louder the universe becomes. The knock at your door wasn't just physical. It was a knock from the divine, echoing through the chambers of your own soul. The stranger is a mirror, showing you the part of yourself you've tried to avoid, the fear of change, the discomfort of truth, the grief of letting go, or the courage required to choose yourself. And when the police come alongside this stranger, it's not to punish. It's to enforce the shift your spirit has already requested in prayer, even if your mind isn't ready. Scorpio, you are powerful, but your greatest strength is not in controlling outcomes. It's in surrendering to transformation. And transformation begins when you face what you've been avoiding. This is your chance to finally acknowledge the emotion you've kept hidden, the decision you've postponed, the truth you've swallowed to keep the peace. The stranger came so you could stop pretending. The police came to show you there are spiritual consequences to staying asleep. You are not in trouble. You are in transition. This is not a crisis. It's a cosmic rescue. The more you resist, the harder the knocks become. But when you open the door from within, you'll find that what you feared was actually the key to your freedom. Scorpio, when a stranger arrives at your door with the police, the first instinct might be fear, confusion, or even shame. But spiritually, this moment holds a much deeper meaning. It may not be a curse. It might just be a karmic invitation, wrapped in uncomfortable packaging. In the realm of soul evolution, not every painful experience is meant to break you. Some are designed to bless you by breaking the illusion you've been living under. This encounter could very well be a karmic visit, a divine checkpoint to interrupt a cycle you've unknowingly repeated across lifetimes. Karma isn't about punishment. It's about balance, reflection, and returning to truth. Perhaps this stranger was a soul contract, someone who agreed, before this life, to play a difficult role to help you awaken at a specific moment. You may not recognize them, but your soul does. And when the energy of law and order, the police, accompany them, it is a strong sign that divine justice is at play. Something that was hidden must now come to light. Something that was off balance must now be realigned. Maybe you felt stuck, looping through emotional chaos, or sensing that your prayers for change have gone unanswered. But Scorpio, what if this is the answer? What if this disruption is the doorway to your next evolution? Sometimes blessings arrive as chaos. Sometimes peace begins with everything falling apart. The universe speaks in opposites to test your discernment. The thing you resist might be the very thing that frees you. This stranger may have delivered more than fear. They may have delivered release. This knock may be the end of an old story and the beginning of your rebirth. But it will require trust. It will require letting go of how you thought life was supposed to unfold. It will require you to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to awaken in me?" Scorpio, blessings often come dressed as burdens. And karma doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to deliver you back to your power. The question is, can you see the gift even when it comes through the door uninvited? Scorpio, one of the most profound spiritual truths is this: God rarely sends messages in the ways we expect. The universe is poetic, mysterious, and bold, and often, the most life-changing guidance arrives through the people or moments we least anticipate. That stranger who showed up at your door wasn't random, and the police weren't a coincidence. They were both unlikely messengers, chosen not because of who they are, but because of the energetic role they played in delivering divine truth. When your soul calls for clarity, correction, or transformation, the answer doesn't always come as a soft whisper in meditation. Sometimes it comes as a stranger standing on your doorstep, a phone call that shakes you, or an event that feels like it came out of nowhere. And in those moments, your human mind may panic, but your spirit recognizes the deeper assignment. God has always used the unexpected to awaken the chosen. Throughout sacred stories and scripture, messengers have appeared disguised as beggars, adversaries, travelers, even enemies. The warning was never about who delivered the message, but whether the heart receiving it was open enough to understand. Scorpio, your soul doesn't need clarity in perfect form. It only needs awareness. Maybe this stranger didn't speak a single word. Maybe their presence alone stirred something deep inside you. Fear, recognition, unease, or even relief. All of it matters. Every feeling is a signal. Every encounter is a message. You've asked for direction, for freedom, for answers. And God is now responding, not through predictable paths, but through symbols and energy. This is a divine reminder. Stay open, stay discerning, and trust your intuition. Don't let appearances fool you. The person who delivers your breakthrough might not look like a guide. They may come unannounced, unwelcome, or misunderstood. But their presence is your cue that something sacred is unfolding. Scorpio, you are not alone, and you are not blind. You have been given spiritual sight, and now is the time to use it. The universe has sent a message, and it arrived in disguise. The question is, are you listening beyond what your eyes can see? Scorpio, when life crashes into your carefully protected space, when the unexpected appears at your door, and everything feels like it's spiraling out of your control, your first instinct may be to resist, defend, or shut down. But spiritually, interruptions are not accidents. They are orchestrated awakenings. The universe does not interrupt peace unless your soul is out of alignment. And when that divine disruption comes, how you respond determines what unfolds next. You may not have asked for a stranger and the police to show up in your world, but you've likely asked for truth, healing, or direction. And this is how it's being delivered. Scorpio, you are deeply intuitive, and you don't miss the signs. But when the signs become too loud to ignore, you must shift from reaction to reflection. This is not a time to panic. It's a time to pause. Breathe, observe, feel. What is this moment asking you to see? What truth is being forced into the light? Instead of spiraling into fear, rise into awareness. Anchor yourself in your sacred practices. Light a candle, say a prayer, cleanse your energy, write your feelings, without censoring them. This is when your spiritual tools matter most, not when things are calm, but when chaos knocks. You've trained for this, Scorpio. You've walked through darkness before. You know how to stand still when the world shakes. And now is the moment to embody everything you've learned. Do not let the energy of others override your inner truth. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. And your grounded response is what keeps you aligned with grace. Remember, you cannot control the knock, but you can control how you open the door. Will you meet the moment with resistance or with readiness? Will you react from your wounds or respond from your wisdom? This is not about fixing the external. It's about aligning the internal. Your soul is being recalibrated. A shift has begun. Trust the timing. Trust the tension. And most of all, trust that nothing sent by the divine arrives without purpose, especially when it interrupts your life so loudly. Scorpio, this moment is stranger at your door, the police beside them, your heart racing with questions, is not just an event to move past, but a spiritual turning point meant to redirect your entire path. The universe doesn't send such a disruptive scene unless something in your life has drifted too far from your soul's true alignment. You may have been walking a path that looked fine on the surface, showing up, surviving, holding it all together, but beneath it, your spirit has been aching for change, for freedom, for truth. And now, that unspoken desire has manifested into reality, though not in the gentle form you imagined. This isn't random. It's a divine reroute, a sacred breaking of momentum to stop you from continuing in a direction that could harm you, delay you, or blind you to your own power. Maybe you've been compromising for too long, tolerating what drains you, staying silent where you should have spoken, or staying still where you were meant to move. Scorpio, you are not meant for half-lives or lukewarm destinies. Your soul came here to transform, to rise, to become something that reflects the depth of your calling. The stranger and the police were simply the symbols. The real message is this: it's time to choose again. This is your crossroads. Will you return to comfort, even if it costs your peace? Or will you trust the shake-up and follow the signs toward a new path, one where you are fully awake, fully present, and fully aligned with who you were created to be? Don't mistake discomfort for danger. Sometimes the most uncomfortable moments are the clearest guidance you'll ever receive. And right now, everything in your life is asking you to listen, to reflect, and to shift. This experience was not meant to define you in fear. It was meant to deliver you to freedom. So step back. Look again. What needs to end? What is trying to begin? What are you still clinging to that's already crumbling? Your life direction is not lost. It's being revealed. And it starts with you saying yes to the truth, even if it arrived wearing the disguise of chaos. Scorpio, if you've made it this far, it means your soul was meant to hear this. This isn't just a video. It's a divine wake-up call. A sacred interruption designed to crack open the illusion and bring you face to face with the truth your spirit has known all along. The stranger at your door wasn't a threat. They were a mirror. The police weren't punishment. They were divine confirmation. And this message, this moment, this feeling in your chest right now, It's not fear, it's recognition. Your soul remembers what your mind may still be trying to deny, that you're being called to shift, to rise, to release what no longer serves, and to walk boldly into your next chapter. Scorpio, you don't need all the answers to move forward. You only need the courage to stop pretending you're fine where you are. Because deep down, you know you're not. You've been outgrowing your surroundings, your story, your silence. And this interruption was heaven's way of giving you one final nudge to stop waiting, stop doubting, and start living like the version of you that's been locked beneath fear and obligation. You are not cursed. You are chosen. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The doors that are closing now are not losses. They are redirections. And the mess that just arrived at your doorstep is the very thing that will free you if you let it. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what is this moment really trying to tell me? Then listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. The answer is already within you. And if this message has stirred something in your soul, don't let it fade. Reflect, release, realign. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, here at the Mystic Astrazen, you are always safe, always guided, and always loved. Until next time, Scorpio, trust the signs, honor the shift, and never ignore the knock that comes straight from the divine.